Alright, so how to use grid paper to make a multiplication chart so that way we are ready for being able to use our multiplication facts. We have been working so hard on our facts, but we've been trying to teach the children also that they need to double check their work, that they need to be confident, and that sometimes we need that extra help. So what we're going to do is use our graph paper that we get during the STAR to be able to write out the multiplication chart. So you start on the left side of your graph paper and you write 1 through 12 first. Okay, and then we put an X at the top and write 1 through 12 on the other side. This helps with multiplication, division, our fact families, double checking our work. It's a great resource and helps us to double check and make sure we're not making mistakes. And the students started skip counting in first and second grade, so this is just using those skills. So what I suggest is starting with the ones, because we're just filling it in. 1 times 1 is 1, 1 times 2, 1 times 3, 4, 5. Okay, and while I'm writing this, there is an earlier lesson on using the multiplication chart from a while back when we were first starting to use it, on how to actually, 2, 3, how to actually use the multiplication chart. And back then we were just doing the numbers that we knew, and now we are up to the whole entire chart this week. Okay, so our fives, we start there because we've been skip counting for so long. So 5 times 2 is 10, times 3 is 15, times 4 is 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, and I always look and double check because every once in a while students will get distracted, write something twice, not noticing, so you still have to pay attention. 5 times 10 is 50. Okay, 55 and 60, and then go across and do the same thing. 5, 10, 15, and this helps us double check, and also I try to tell them to write neatly because when you're looking back on it, sloppy writing will mess you up. 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, and 60. Okay? And then I ask them to go ahead and do the tens. So 10, 20, 30, 40, and then it should line up. 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, and 120, and do the same thing this way. So that way we've got all of these built-in checks to make sure that we're staying on track, not doing things twice, and it just makes it easier to check our work. 80, 100, so that lined up right, 110 and 120. Okay, so now we fill in with the other ones. We've been singing our 8 song, 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48. Okay, and keep going. I send out the link to the different videos we watch. And then what we did after, we started to compare and find patterns. Okay, so then you would do the 8s across and then do the 2s for sure because we've been skip counting for so long, and then go in and fill in the numbers that are harder. But what I also noticed, wanted them to notice is, for example, on the 12s, 12, 24, 3 is 36, times 4 is 48, times 6, 72, times 7 is 84 times 9 is 108, 132, and 144. Okay, so what I asked them to do, first of all, they can use repeated addition to be able to add up. So each time you get the number 12 plus 12 is 24. 24 plus 12 is 36. 36 plus 12 is 48. 48 plus 12 is 60. 60 plus 12 is 72. Some of the students, you can do plus 10 plus 2, and that makes it easier in your brain to do it in your brain super fast. So if I do 72 plus 10 is 82, and then plus 2 more, because that would equal 12, is 84. Okay, so the other thing to notice is these patterns. 2, 4, 6, 8, 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 0, 2, 4, and it would keep going, 6, 8, 0. So that is a pattern that they can double check their work, because they might notice that they might have accidentally put 83. Well, if it's 2, 4, 6, 8, 0, and they have a 3 there, that's not going to work, because there's a pattern that they can follow. The 2s are all going to end in even number as well. Some of the kids have found these patterns in the tens place. For example, in the 5s, 5, 0, 5, 0, 5, 0, they found that pattern. But then 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5. So they found these patterns in the tens place. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. Oh, see, that looks like an 8. If I was trying to read that and I was not paying attention, that looked scribbly enough to be an 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So there's all these patterns to double check our work. I love the patterns in math. It's my favorite part of math. I'm trying to instill that love of patterns in the kids as well. So they could finish, I'm not going to finish the chart right now, but the students can use skip counting, they can use addition, their facts, their fact families, however they need to fill in the chart. It would take them maybe 5 minutes, and then they've got all of their facts right there, and they're also allowed to ask for a, kind of like, it's like a bookmark type thing. And they're allowed to ask me for that, so that way they could follow the chart and easily look across just the 5s and have the 6s, 7s, and 8s covered. So there's lots of tools that they can use to make sure that they double check their work. I cannot say it enough that double checking your work is so important. We all make mistakes. I make mistakes, but catching them is key. So this is how we've been working on our multiplication chart so that we can do it from memory. And we are well on our way. The majority of the class is pretty close to having this being able to do this from memory. So I'm very proud of their hard work.